Happy Friday. Sorry, I'm trying very hard not to do my typical greetings. I'm sorry. The story that I have for you today is one that I feel like anyone can relate to, whether they experienced it themselves, like it was towards them, or they saw it happen in front of them. And this is when sometimes it feels like there's sometimes an overreaction to some stuff. And it happens to the best of us. Hey, even I overreact sometimes. Hey, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty. I'll admit it. I'm guilty. I'm not ashamed of it, but I'm not proud of it. And other times it just feels like the situation is so minimum. It's so minimum, and there's like no use to react the way it is and to take the action that was taken wasn't necessary. And this was when I was in 5th grade. And this was like a harmless moment. Like, come on, like, we're 10 to 11-year-olds. I mean, by then we have the idea of what's right and what's wrong, yes, of course. We have at least the right idea of how to conduct ourselves and how to behave in the classroom. But the way what my classmate did, his name was CJ, was really nothing. I mean, he was trying to be funny, and it wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't unacceptable, and I feel like the teacher could have done something completely different, could have done something, reacted completely differently because, like, okay, if you're going to act stupid, you're going to be treated like stupid. If you're going to act a fool, I'm going to treat you like a fool. I'll do that. Like, for example, one time I had asked my brother, "Hey, where's the batteries?" Because I was looking in the cabinet that usually they're in, and I couldn't find them. He goes, "Well, they're in." And I said, "Okay, well, quit being a smartass and get over here and help me." You know, uh, there you go. My brother wanted to act stupid, and I threw it right back at him. And I've had other situations where, all right, if you're gonna act like a fool, I'm gonna treat you like a fool, and you're not gonna like it. That's different. Because it was just simple question, a simple thing, and the other person had to take it from 0 to 100. Okay, look, I can do the same thing, but you're not gonna like it. Trust me. You know, I mean, I understand what the teacher was trying to do, but the action that he took, I think, wasn't necessary. So, like I said, my classmate CJ was, being a kid, trying to be funny. Yes, he was being stupid, but it wasn't like he was being a smart aleck, he wasn't behaving like that. So the teacher, the music teacher, I'm not going to say his name, but, he was doing roll call, so of course, typical, hey, when I call your name, please say here or present. So the typical, response is, like I said, here, present, or something else, something where, I don't know. There's other words, but it's just here and present. So he goes down the list, so and so here, so and so here, so forth. And CJ simply says graffiti. He doesn't say here, he doesn't say present. He says graffiti, and just smiles and things like that. And I'm like, I didn't think anything wrong with it. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, I don't know why he said that, but okay, fine. He didn't cuss. He didn't say asshole, or he didn't say he didn't say butt fuck, or he didn't say anything. He did not say anything inappropriate. He didn't curse. He didn't say anything wrong. He just said graffiti. And graffiti is freaking, street art that people use spray paint, that's how I grew up with. I grew up, anything that was made out of spray paint was called graffiti. But, he was being a kid. He was trying to be funny. Obviously, the teacher didn't appreciate it. So he decides to involve the principal, decides to give him a D slip, and decides to get my teacher involved and his parents involved over a little word. Out of all the responses he could have said, oh, CJ's not here. Guess I'm going to have to call his mom and tell him CJ's not present. And then then she can decide what to do with him. Or, I guess I'm going to have to call the principal and let him know CJ's not here. And so he could call his mom and let her know that her son's not here, Things like, hey, I'm going to let your mom deal with you, Or he could have just said, hey, I'm not playing games. Either you're here or you're not, because otherwise you're going to be walking to the principal's office. Simple response like that. Hey, you're going to, I don't have time for that. You can either walk in the principal's office and behave, or you can just say, hey, I'm here. Simple as that. If he wasn't having it, okay, that's fine, If you didn't want to tolerate, okay, fine. There's ways to tolerate it, but to get it was a simple word. Because I remember my teacher, he was telling the teacher, what was it? The teacher said, hey, I need to talk to you, and to my core teacher, hey, I'm going to have to talk to you about one of your students because his behavior is unacceptable. Of course she's thinking, he's going up the wall. Of course she's thinking of the worst. Okay, how's he misbehaving? What did he do? And she kind of looked at me, she ran up to me, and she goes, hey, do you know what happened? And the teacher goes, oh, well, he said the word. I'm sure you remember the word telling me. And I said, well, he was doing roll call and he simply said graffiti. That was it, And the teacher looks at me like, you gotta be kidding me. Like that look like, seriously? Here I am thinking it's wayward. And she looks at the music teacher and he goes, yes, he did say that. I am not gonna tolerate that. It was just something so trivial. He could have just said, all right, you know what? You got two choices. You can either tell me or I'm going to have to call the principal's office and tell them that you're coming down here because you're misbehaving. I'm not going to tolerate that. It could have something like that. I don't think he didn't have to involve the other teachers and the principal to a point. I mean, it's one thing like, okay, you're not going to tolerate it. Okay, fine. But I don't. I would have just said, all right, I'm going to have to call his mom and tell him her son's not present, and then she's just going to have to deal with it. I bet you he would have like, oh, I'm here. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's me. Maybe that's code word. Maybe that was a code word for something inappropriate that I didn't know about, I don't know. That's just me. Maybe, like I said, maybe it was code. Maybe it was code for something else, I don't know. That's the story how a music teacher just had to take it up a notch.